Happy Father's Day. Father's Day 2023. What's going on, man? How you doing? It's been a minute. How the family doing? How the kids doing, man? Happy Father's Day to you. Man, I just wanted to drop this video, man, and say Happy Father's Day. I ain't good at calling and texting, and you know how we are sometimes, man. We ain't the call you all the time, man. But since we on the line, you know what I mean? How you doing, man? How you been? Comment below, let me know. Yo, hit that like real quick, man. Hit that subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Talk about Happy Father's Day. Again, Happy Father's Day to all my dads out there, all my fathers out there that's doing the thing, man. Happy Father's Day to you. The new dads, right? Remember that new dad feeling, right? Like you ready for it. You scared but ready. What you gonna do? Hey, Happy Father's Day to the dads who the babies are still in the tummy. You first time dad, the baby's in the stomach, wifey, girlfriend, significant other, baby moms didn't push out the baby yet, but you got the news that you a dad. Happy Father's Day. Remember that stage? You know what I mean? So fathers, it's different stages of fatherhood, right? The very beginning where I think it's like when you think about being a dad for the first time, whatever age that is, maybe a little kid where you admired your dad or admired somebody else's dad, and you're like, man, I'll be a great dad, right? Maybe it was with that one shorty that kind of obsessed over, thought about all the time, like, yo, I'll be a great dad with her. You know what I mean? Maybe it's that time when your dad wasn't there, or maybe you was mad at your dad. You're like, man, if I was a dad, I'll be a great dad. Right? Maybe it's that time where, you're thinking about it for the first time, and seriously. And you're like, you know what, maybe it's time to become a dad, Let me put my roots out there, throw my seeds out there, and really, step up, Maybe it's the time, during that time frame, like where you just sitting and like, yeah, I need to get myself together, get my shiznai together, and I need to be a dad, and we're gonna step it up. Yeah, it's time, right? Maybe you was just kind of thrown in there, like, surprise, you a dad, bruh. Maybe it wasn't even your fault, right? And when I say that, like, maybe you raising somebody else's kids. You're an uncle out there who your sister or brother or sibling died, and you up for it now, and now you the dad. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't die. You just the man that's there, right? The father figure. Do we see father figures as dads? Should we? Yeah, I think so. Seeing father figures as dads, right? The only difference is what? Like, they didn't, do the do, but they doing everything else, right? So should a father figure celebrate Father's Day? Ooh. Y'all better hit them comments. Should a father figure celebrate Father's Day? I like that. I'm gonna write that down real quick. That's a good one. I'm gonna post that. Should a father figure celebrate Father's Day? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start the conversation right now. Yes, I think a father figure should celebrate Father's Day. If that father figure is a man, right? And listen, ladies, fellas, I gotta stick to this, y'all, okay? I know y'all ain't gonna like it, but we in America, right? All right, and we can all have our our opinions, right? Respectively, right? I ain't about to disrespect nobody. I'm just telling you how I feel. Alright. So yeah, if he's a man, right? And when I say a man, as far as whoever is celebrating them knows him to be. Why do I say that? Because, like, you know what I mean? Side note. Are you really checking to see if you are true? You know what I mean? If you look like a man to me, you know what I mean? You a man to me. You doing man things, you know what I mean? Until I know otherwise, then you a man, okay? So that should settle it right there, all right? Now, once new information come and evidence came through and you show me like, yeah, you are not a man, then damn it, you're not a man no more, okay? All right. Back to it. So a father figure who's not, and let's just say he don't have no kids too. Let me make that clear. The father figure don't have no kids. All right. Oh, that's a good for. I'm gonna put that on Reddit too, yo. Father figure don't have no kids, and he's a father figure. Should he be celebrated on Father's Day? My answer is yes, absolutely. Yes. Why? Because he is acting in the role of a father. In the role of a father. Okay? Let's even go a step further. Let's say the father figure is a father figure, right? To an individual who has a father, an active father. Should he be celebrated on Father's Day? Yes. Yes. Because he's still acting in the role of a father. Doesn't matter if there is more than one father there, right? He's seen as, he's acting in the role as a father. Now, fellas, would you be upset if your child had another man they celebrating for Father's Day? That's a father figure. I'm not talking about the stepdad or nothing like that, okay? I'm talking about a father figure, right? All right? And they celebrating both of y'all, and you've been in the child's life since they came out, you know what I mean? How would you be upset? Ooh. If you are an active father and your child celebrated somebody else also as a father figure, not the grandpa, not the uncle, okay? That should say somebody who's not a blood relative or by marriage, okay? They not a stranger either, okay? So it's not like some strange person. Now this person is really like a father figure to them. Maybe it's a coach. Yeah, maybe it's a coach, right? You know what I mean? How would you feel? You see what I'm saying? Would you be feeling jealous, envious, upset, mad? You know what I mean? Like, I do the real father work here. You know what I mean? I pay the bills. I take them to the doctor's appointments. I deal with their moms. I cook them food every night when they sick, right? And this other person's getting praised as, you know, on Father's Day, right? How would you feel, fellas? Whew. What do I feel? I feel like, you know what? It's okay. You know why? You know, this might sound crazy, right? I gotta know the person first. You see what I'm saying? I gotta get to know the person first. Like, how can you be a father figure? I'm not hearing about you. You know what I mean? I don't know nothing about you. So now I get to know you, right? And I know your spirit. Because I gotta, you see what I'm saying? Oh, are you instilling the same values in my child? I know this sounds crazy, right? But do you ask the teachers, are they instilling the same values in your child as they go to school, right? You don't know what them teachers' values are, what side comments they be having, what their agendas is, right? And I'm not going for the teachers, right? I'm just using teachers as an example because that's a group of professionals that our children spend a lot of time with. Their peers. Some of their peers they look up to, right? Who else? You know, their social media content, right? So where am I going with this? Like, I wouldn't be upset. I just got to know the person, right? And then I would do my best to understand why my child see this individual as a father figure, right? You know, that's break this down. Can you explain it to me? Like, if you can explain it to me and it makes sense, or I don't know, make sense. Like, if you can explain it to me to a way where I can understand where you're coming from, I can understand where you're coming from, and I'm not able to partake any wisdom upon you. Or maybe from what you said to me, it's like, yeah, I get it. I see how coach such and such can be a father figure. I see how, you know, this person could be a father figure. Okay, I can see that. Yeah. Right, okay, I do see that. Oh, they do take care of my child. Okay. They're there for all the events. Okay. All right. Maybe it's your best friend, like maybe it's your child's best friend, right? Dad, your child's best friend, dad. Ain't no best friends, you know what I mean? You spend by each other's house all the time, right? So half the time you at this house, half the time y'all at that house, you know what I mean? And the family is cool, you know what I mean? They see the child or the child and the child friend as, you know, part of the family. Like, I grew up like that. Like, I grew up with a lot of Caribbean families, right? And growing up in Brooklyn, shout out to Brooklyn, like, you know, my moms was my friends' moms too. My friends' moms was my moms, right? And we didn't really have the dads around like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't, you know, it wasn't like that. So I didn't really say that's my pops, but you know what I mean? Some people call other people, you know, dad pops. You know what I mean? What up, pops? Because they're the father figure type, right? So do you celebrate your father figures? That's another thing, right? Do you celebrate father figures in your life? Yo, bump your kid right now. You know what I mean? Do you celebrate father figures in your life? Like you got that guy in your job who give you that wisdom. You know what I mean? That fatherly advice. You know, fellas, man, come on, no, it's not front, right? You know, you go to work and you know what I mean? The fellas is there, right? And you're like, hey, what's going on, man? Alright, let me tell you like it is, bro. You know, and you know that gentleman, that man, hears him out and gives him good manly advice. Hey, bro, yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know what I mean? Because you was my son. I'm gonna tell you this. You need to go home. Matter of fact, you need to go ahead and text Babe. Let her know you're sorry. Call her. Matter of fact, call her right now, man. That text message stuff y'all be doing, y'all young folks be doing. You don't need to be texting. You need to call her right now. Let her feel how you feel right now, that you're sorry. You know what I mean? It was a misunderstanding. Let her say everything she need to say, bruh. Matter of fact, shoot, you need to take off right now. Go ahead, take off. Take off tomorrow if you need to. But you need to fix this. Step it on up, bruh. Step it on up. Do the right thing, man. Go ahead. And you got men like that that's at the job site, you know what I mean? That's talking to you and giving you some advice. Maybe it's one or two pieces of advice. Maybe, I don't know, whatever amount. But you know it's them guys, them fellas out there. You know what I mean? Do you celebrate them? How do you celebrate them? Yo, hey, man, I know this might sound a little, but I just want to say happy Father's Day, man. I see you as a mentor, you know, father figure, and shit, you know, I just want to say that. Thank you for everything that you listen to my crap, you know what I mean? Thank you. And how do you, and I'm not telling you what to do, like buy them tickets, buy them a watch or something like that, make them some food, but, you know what I mean? Do you first acknowledge that first? move over to the celebration type thing where, you're giving them a card. You know what I mean? How do you acknowledge them? Have you ever thought about that? Like, you know what I mean? So happy Father's Day. To those fellas that's in my life, right? They're probably watching the show right now. Yes, happy Father's Day to my dad. Yes. My dad imparted a lot of stuff upon me. I'm gonna get to him. But those fellas that's in my life that, partaked upon me, gave me words of wisdom, who stood in their beliefs, non-judgmental, but being them, right? And those fellas don't have to be old cats, you know what I mean? The old fellas, nah. It could be some young bucks too, the young fellas too. They could be your peers, right? Right? Especially if you got your homeboy, your bruh, your best friend. You know what I mean? I don't know what they call him now. You know what I mean? A friend of yours. A dude you chill with and you talk to the most, right? If they a dad, do they inspire you to be better? Do you inspire each other? You got that relationship, right? I don't know. I know I got that. You know what I mean? Shoot, I'm glad I do. You know what I mean? So happy Father's Day to the biological fathers, to the honorees. The honorees, right? Happy Father's Day. Like, what's one thing you've learned from your father, right? Because, I don't know, like, taught and learned. Like, my dad taught me some things didn't stick, still don't stick. But there's things I've learned from him, right? So let's stick with that. What's one thing you learned from your father? Comment below. What's one thing I learned from my father? Independence. Independence, right? Because that's important for manhood, to be independent, dependent on yourself, right? Can you depend on you, right? Independent, doing what it takes. I know a lot of dads teach that. I know a lot of dads demonstrate that, doing what it takes, right? Being independent, and you're learning how to be a leader, how to carry the load. Shout out to my dads out there carrying the load and displaying that, right? Displaying that. Sometimes when you're carrying the load, it's so heavy you don't even got time to talk. Holla at me. You just keeping your breathing pattern. Where my military folks at, right? You and that. I hate running PFT, man. I was in the Marine Corps, man. I used to hate running, but I had to take my platoon out running. You know what I mean? Now, when you running, right, you got to get to a rhythm. Ooh, this is deep right here. You got to get to a rhythm when you running. This is the key to long distance running from a person who don't like running. You got to get in a rhythm. So I get in a rhythm of my mind. Shout out to them dads that's in the rhythm. The rhythm of carrying the load. Come on. They in the rhythm of carrying the load, right? And when you get in the rhythm, that means it's a long haul, right? So shout out to my dads in the long haul, right? I ain't gonna put a years on it, because when you're in a rhythm, you don't even know. I know when I was running, it's times when I'm running, I don't even know where I'm at. I'm just left foot, right foot. I don't even know where I'm at on the path, right? Sometimes it be like that, the low be, and then you be in the rhythm and you don't even know where you at in the path. So shout out to my first time dads, beginning dads. Shout out to the granddads, the great granddads. Talk about rhythm. Great grandfather, great grandfather. You are great grandfather. Shout out to the ancestors. Talk about carrying the load. You know what I mean? So, They got them dads out there who carry the load. And when you carrying the load, you got to get into a rhythm. Left foot, right foot. And sometimes when you in that rhythm, you ain't got time to be talking sometimes, because it's just you need every breath. So them dads that's out there who's displaying it, and you may not be talking about it, right? But you displaying it. Shout out to y'all. Right? I know we got a lot of dads out there who may not sit down and, you know what I mean, write a lesson plan, but you know what? They're gonna bring you in the field. You're gonna see what the field is like. They can show you better than they can tell you, right? Shout out to them dads, man, putting the work out. Shout out to my dads who, you know, let me just go back to the running, man, how I got over that, right? So I'm in a platoon of runners. These boys is slinky. I've always been muscular. But I'm from Brooklyn. When we run, we don't run for long distances. You know what I mean? We hit the corners, get a couple blocks. We could do a little something. But we ain't running the whole city. You know what I mean? We ain't running the whole section of Brooklyn. Like, I'm Flatbush, holla at me. I ain't running all of Flatbush. Bed-Stuy. I ain't running all of Bed-Stuy. Brownsville. I ain't running all through Brownsville. Nah. I'm running, but I ain't running that much. So what I'm running with the, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, so I can't run fast with these fellas because they know how to sprint and get it. So what I would do is I would run long distances, and like every mile I would stop and then hit them with some exercises, right? And I'm like, all right, after the first mile, they got the little mile markers. You know, I'll take a stop and we're gonna do some push-ups. And I ain't talking about no 10. I could kill you on a circuit. Yeah, I can kill you. You know what I mean? So we'll do about a good 200-300 push-ups. All right, 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? I just miscounted, but you know what I mean. 4 count. Take them on the next mile, right? You feeling good? Mile 2, stop. Let's get down, do some hello dollies. Hello dollies. Let's do about 1,000 of them. Because I used to love hello dollies, boy. I could do a good, you know what I mean? At least 2,000 back then. Hello dollies. That core was strong. Core was strong. Mile 3. We run from 2 to 3. Let's do some jumping jacks. And I ain't talking about no like 100 jumping jacks, 200 jumping jacks. We doing 1,000 jumping jacks. You know what I mean? Then we hit the mile 3. And then after that, you know, depending on, you know, how good they were or not, you know what I mean? Shoot, we'll just run it back again. Different exercises. Or I'm like, all right, I'll meet y'all on y'all on your own pace. You know what I mean? If there's too broken. But what does that have to do with what I'm talking about? You know, sometimes we get sidetracked. But, you know, on the road of fatherhood, handling the business, you know, how I did it when I ran PT, right? And how I do fatherhood may not be how you do fatherhood or how you run PT, right? Does that mean that the way I did it is better than your way? No, we still did PT at the end of the day. I'm in charge of the platoon as a platoon sergeant. I need to make sure we PT in, right? It don't have to be the 3-mile run every time. It don't got to be the 9-mile run, right? But are you out there? And I'm saying the same thing to fatherhood. Shout out to my fathers who's out there. Yeah, your fatherhood may be different than my fatherhood because I had a different platoon than you had. You had a different platoon than I have. We have different families. We got different kids, different circumstances, right? We're fathers in different eras at times. Our culture is different, right? The culture of PT is different from company to company, from platoon to platoon, from battalion to battalion. Every battalion got a different standard of PT. We got one standard in the Marine Corps, yeah. But, hey, some battalions we only running, right? And we ain't doing 3 miles here, right? We doing PFTs every time. I've been in companies, and you know what I mean, times when you PT is PFT every time. We're going through, starting off with the pull-ups, better hit 20. We're gonna do the sit-ups, better get 100. Let's go for that run. And we need to be in the 20-minute range. Plus or minus 1. So, I mean, you better be hitting them 7-minute miles. No more than that. Right? So, some companies is just like, yo, just go out there and make sure y'all good. You know what I mean? Platoon sergeants, you got it. You know what I mean? I ain't stepping in until I, you know what I mean, unless I need to, type joint. I know when we come at the end of the month, we had the battalion run. Hey, as long as the platoons is keeping up, we straight. You got some sergeant majors, some first sergeants like that. They like, all right, as long as y'all keeping up on the battalion run, the company run, we straight. You know what I mean? And I like to run. So I say the same thing with families, man. Your family is different than my family. My family is different than yours. Shout out to you handling your family. My fathers, my brothers. Father's Day. What do fathers want for Father's Day? Right? I can't speak for every father. So I'm going to just speak for myself. Like, I'm going to speak for the other fathers too. The ones I know. Really thinking about it, like, what do fathers want for Father's Day? We want prosperity for our family. And when I say prosperity, I mean prosperity in other forms. I had to write some of this down. Let me get my notes. Here it is. Prosperity. And there's different forms of prosperity. I believe that I want my children to be prosperous in wisdom. They're wise. Like they've learned from their lives that they've been living. They're still learning. I want them to be forever students of life, but demonstrating mastery at the same time in other areas, the parts that they've mastered. Right? I want them to be the best of themselves. Right? To demonstrate them being the best of who they are. That's what I want from my kids for Father's Day. I want to know that they have learned and they are applying the lessons that I've taught them. That's what I want for Father's Day. And I know, Father's Day, getting a gift and a tie. Yes, that's important. Right? But what kind of tie your dad want? Do your dad want a collection of ties? You know what I mean? Do your dad want to be barbecuing on Father's Day? Right? Do your dad want to be doing anything on Father's Day? You want to be driving? Maybe he do want to drive. What does your dad want? Do you even know your dad? Maybe that's what we want too. Like, we want to know you as a father. As we are fathers, we want to know you. Maybe that's the perfect father. Say, like, I know my child. And as they get older, right? Keeping that relationship. Do you know your dad? I love coffee. My kids know that. And as I get older, my palate changes for coffee in a good way. I think I love it even more as I get older. I don't know if it's a dad thing or not. You know your dad. So what does dads want? Prosperity, wisdom for our family, for our children. We want to see growth and development in our family. We want to see our children grow and develop through the stages of their lives. We want to see you take responsibility and accountability. We want to see that you come to us for assistance and help. And when I say come to us for assistance and help, I'm not talking about for every single issue. Right? But we want to see that you learn it. And if you're somewhere that you're not sure, are you coming to seek when you're not sure? Or you just guess? Right? We want to see our families grow. We want grandkids the right way though. Before the grandkids, we want to make sure that you with the right one. You're not just doing this for me or your mama or for clout. Let me say this again. We want to make sure you got a good man, a good woman. You ain't doing this for me, your daddy, or your mama. Right? You ain't doing this for nobody but yourself. Like, this is exactly where you want to be at. You are truly happy. You're not proving nothing to nobody. When it comes to your marriage, your relationship, how you doing things. We want to see you as comfortable as possible. We want to see you flourishing in your life. So before you have kids, we want to make sure, we want to know that you know. Make us feel like you know, like this is the one. By how you treat this person, how they treat you, how you talk about them, how they talk about you. Yeah, we observing, we watching. We want to know you with the right one. That you able to pick that out. We know you make mistakes. We know we all make mistakes. We want a family though, right? Yeah, we want a family. We want to see our grandkids. We want to see our kids. We want to see our grandkids, our nieces and nephews, right? But we don't want nobody sitting in our chair, unless it's baby girl, probably. So when people come over and stuff, just don't let them sit in our chair, man. You know what I mean? That's a good Father's Day gift. Get out my daggone chair. Take your shoes off. Clean up behind yourself. Have some respect and say Happy Father's Day or something. You know what I mean? We want family. We want to teach y'all that we still got it in spades and dominoes. You can't come up on here and running nothing. You know what I mean? We want love, right? The love of family. That's what I want, love of family. I want to see the family getting along, loving each other. No matter what we're going through, we could put that crap to the side and we come together as a family, we family. That's what fathers want. Unity. Shout out to the fathers out there who about that unity. We don't want no drama. How about that? That's what fathers want. We don't want no drama. No drama. That's what fathers want. We want, of course, we want a great monetary life for our kids, right? Yes, we want them to be successful financially, monetarily, right? Yes, we want that, right? We want to be taken care of too. Yes. But before all the money, we want to make sure your money up here, your brain, your mental, your real money, your mental is alright. Self, do you love self? We want to know that you love yourself. Right? That's what dads want. We want y'all to be prosperous in those areas. For life. We want you to live your life. Be the best of who you are. You know, when you're doing stuff, we know that it has meaning behind it. Like, I just believe, like, at least in my fatherhood experience, if my kids are telling me anything, but it has meaning behind it, I could feel their soul passion. I know they really been, yo, they put the work into this. They researched it. They got an answer. They got a plan. Because my kids already know, like, I don't want to hear nothing unless you got a plan. And I ain't talking about no little paper plan. I'm talking about like a mission plan. I'm from the military, so I'm like, I want a mission. I know you're going to the park, but how you getting there? I need 2 ways getting there. What routes you taking? Who you going with? What's their first, middle, and last names? Addresses? What's their phone numbers? Social medias? I need a bio on each person you're going with. Why the first time I'm hearing from them? I need a background check before you go to anybody up to the park. You know how his dads be, you know what I mean? Shoot, holla at me. Dads, y'all know, right? Overprotective dads, right? But I want you to have a plan, right? So that's the thing. I want to see that you have a plan for your life. You may not be at the height of your career, the height of your family, the height of whatever it is. But I can tell as a father that you're on the right path. Yeah, you fell and scraped your knees. We all daggone fell and scrape our knees, our elbows. We fell on our face. Some of us needed surgery. And I'm talking about in our life experiences. We done messed up. We done effed up. Right? Some of us effed up more than others. Some of us barely effed up. But you know what dads want to see? You getting up and you dusting yourself off. And then you taking the next step forward. You ain't sitting in it and just crying about it. And I'm not talking about grief. But I'm talking about you getting up after grief. I'm done grieving. Whatever it is. I'm done, I hurt myself. No, it's time to get up now. That's what we want to see. You getting up. You living your best life. Even if your best life is not the best right now, you're on the right path to that. And we can see when you're on the right path to doing that. We can see when you're really trying. We want to see effort. That's what dads want. Effort. That's what I want. I want to see effort. Effort over everything. Effort over you being the best of you. That has shown me that you really learned. You know what I mean? And the best of you sometimes ain't the best all the time. Sometimes we've been in our life. Life takes us to a point where, dang, we ain't the best of who we could be. Right? I get it. I don't want to be around my dad because I'm not the best of who I am. No. Because sometimes the best ain't 100%. Sometimes you ever wake up and you just ain't feeling like you did yesterday 100%. Shoot, you probably at 70. So 70 is my best right now. You know what I mean? It's raining. I don't know, got roof leaking. I couldn't get in much sleep. Baby was up all night. I had an argument with wifey. And, I'm just not at my best right now. The best of best. My best is 70% right now. Right? And I'm just going to give you all I got, which is the 70. That's what dads want to see. Even if you at a 50% or 20%, this is who I am. This is all I got right now. And I'm doing my best at this 20%. This is it. Honesty. That's what dads want. Honesty. So the same things that we want, dads. Same things that I know that dad's connecting with me. Are we demonstrating that? Have we demonstrated that? And I don't even mean to turn this around to like a feeling bad session, but no, like father to 6. This is what I think sometimes, man. Like I got all these expectations. Have I just demonstrated mastery over these things that I want them to master? Come on. Have I demonstrated mastery over the things I want them to master? Deep. Right? I'm already in 45 minutes, 43. And Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. I might cut this up. Father's Day 2023. So have we demonstrated mastery? Have we demonstrated knowledge? Have we demonstrated at all anything to them about being honest and transparent, being the best of who you are, the best of yourself? Has your kids ever seen you be the best of yourself? Have you ever shown them the best of yourself? Have you ever been the best of yourself at all? To even demonstrate to anyone else? That's deep. What does it mean to be the best of myself? So many questions, so many answers, right? To be the best of yourself, in my opinion, what I see it is me being true to who I am and standing on who I am all the time, right? And I had to go deep down into it and like ask myself, who am I? What does it mean to be you? Happy Father's Day. And so I'm like, I really spent time really getting to know myself, know myself, because we grow. I was telling somebody the other day, like we continue to grow, we develop, right? We become new people. Like I'm not the same person as I was 20 years ago, right? I was 16. Dang, not the same person. Not the same person I was 26. I don't even remember 26, man. I remember 16. Maybe if I already thought about 26. I'm about 30. Right? So we are different. I'm not the same person. I'm constantly, I don't even think I'm the same person from last month. Last week. It might be frightening for some of you, always changing, but like my changes are developments. Come on. My changes are developments. I'm gonna write that one down. My changes are developments. My changes are developments. How many of y'all can resonate with that? My changes are developments. Those are my changes. So when they say you changed, yes, because I developed. Come on. All right. Whew. So I really got to really know myself, right? Re-know myself. Then, real talking, like, who do I want to be? That's where I went to next. Who do I want to be? What does it take to be this that I want to be? Right? Are you sure you want to be this? Let's be it then. And then become it. Right? So do your kids see you being the best of yourself? Being who you want to be? Being the best of yourself is the authentic self. Are you being authentically true to yourself? Right? Do your kids see you be really who you are? They can respect that. Like, this is who he is. You want your kids to be who they are. Do they see that? If you want your kids to develop, do they see you develop over the years, over the months, over the weeks? Right? Do they see a different dad for the better? Right? And sometimes for the better, it can be subjective, because better for who? Right? Better for self. Maybe they're not understanding at the time. When they go back, they start thinking like, yeah, I remember dad did that. I didn't understand it, but I understand it now. That's what he means by, They see you setting boundaries, right? Respecting boundaries. Defending boundaries. Right? So do they see you setting boundaries? Setting boundaries for yourself and setting boundaries for others. Healthy boundaries. Do they see you respecting those healthy boundaries of your boundaries and others? Do they see you defend your own boundaries when they're being crossed? Right? Are you displaying these things to them? How to be the best of who they are, standing up for themselves, standing up for what's right. The morals and principles, the core principles in your core. Do they see you standing on that? Right? Do they see that in you? Happy Father's Day. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you've been listening this long, you better hit that like and subscribe. Throw me a comment too. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to my dad. My dad, he was the displayer. He'll show you. You know what I mean? Show you. You know what I mean? He has some good stories too. My dad's still alive. Happy Father's Day. You know, to the fathers I know, my friends, right? My best friend. You know, happy Father's Day to you. You know, this how I know if you listened all the way. You're like, oh, your content is too long, bro. Too long, unless it's interesting. I say, yo, it's gonna hit to who it needs to hit to, man. Hey, Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you, man. You know what I mean? A true father indeed. This guy, man, he do anything for his family. You know what I mean? And he makes sure that he sets the right example for them. You know, he makes sure. No, he's not perfect. None of us are. But he really works on himself. You know, and you see the improvement day by day. It's never a bad guy. Never. At least I didn't know him as a bad guy. He got stories to tell, but you know, who don't? But a real, like, I could really say, like, this is a dad. Yeah, it's a true dad. You know what I mean? It's a true dad. You know? Could he be an uncle to my kids? Yeah. Could he be a godfather to my kids? Yeah. You know? You know, here's another thing, like, the fathers you know around you. If something was to happen to your kids, would you be okay with them raising your children? And I'm not talking about taking your wife or nothing like that. I'm just saying, in the hypothetical, if there's somebody you can choose to raise your children if you wasn't here, right? And I know nobody can't raise your kids like you raised them. I get that. But do the fathers around you reflect those fathers that you would be like, you know what? Shoot, if something happened to me, I'll be all right with my homeboy, my best friend, this individual, my brother, my uncle, my cousin, my neighbor, whoever. So here's the next question. Like, do we keep around people that we don't want a part of our life? Like, if, you know what I mean? How do I say this? Are we around others who we won't even trust our kids with? You know what I mean? And then I might go too far though, right? In the sense of, like, I don't have to hang out with people I don't trust my kids with. I just don't need to have my kids around them. Got it. But I guess I'm referring to your core group of people, not just your stranger co-workers and stuff like that, but your core group of people, like your homeboy. That's your guy. You know what I mean? Would he look out for your kids and give them fatherly advice? Maybe that's not your friends. Maybe that's not the kind of friends you got. I don't know. Let me just change the subject. I mean, that's just something. I don't know. That's just me. Like, my core group of people, I feel like reflects me. So in some aspects, like, yeah, you know, we may have different parenting styles, but it's very similar. Our core beliefs are similar. You know what I mean? Core beliefs, similar, aligned, very much the same, right? Core beliefs. What's a core belief in fatherhood? right? Teaching your kids, right? Teaching them what? A core belief of mine. Teaching your kids what? Teaching your kids how to be themselves. Teaching your kids right from wrong. Right from wrong. Customs and courtesies, right? As a young man, you sitting down somewhere, or you walking through a door, open the door, especially for a woman, for an elderly. Hey bro, you don't strike no woman. You never strike a woman unless life or death. But before you even go to the life or death, you need to put your hands on a woman. It's just to restrain and stop an attack. That's it. We don't play slap boxing with women. We don't take our anger out on women by punching them. We don't even take our anger out with our words. You feel like, you know what I mean? And I know sometimes we lose it sometimes. And I'm not talking about, but losing it physically, no. Core beliefs. I believe that the fathers that I hang around with, we share the core beliefs. Families first, right? Families first, right? Honor yourself, and you will honor your family, right? In a sense. But it means to honor yourself, right? Do things that are honorable, so that way you know, it feels good for the family. It feels good for you. What's honorable? Doing the right thing. Fatherhood 6, happy Father's Day. To all the dads out there, all the dads that I know. There's a lot of dads out there. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the text messages that you've sent me. Thank you. Happy Father's Day. I appreciate you listening to my content today. Hit me with a like, subscribe, a comment, share this out there. There's a lot of fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. I will say this. Being a father has changed my life for the better. I love being a dad. Yeah, it's challenging at sometimes, but it's more rewarding than anything. Way more rewarding. That I am affecting the world through these children in a positive way. Not only my children, but the children that they're in contact with. The children they're in contact with. Here's a tough task to implement good values, help mold, help shape these young ones into who they will be. To be the best of who you are for them. It's tough. So, happy Father's Day. Oh, I need to say this too. Are we only celebrating the dads on Father's Day? Is Father's Day the only day you celebrate your dad? Only time you buy your dad a gift, do something for your dad. And that's not about gifts, y'all. Okay? Not about it. But, are you only celebrating your dad on Father's Day? How else do you celebrate your dad? How else do you celebrate your dad? Do you talk to your dad often? Do you get to know your dad? Do you spend time with your dad? Do you honor your dad often, frequently, when you can? Do you make time out for that? Right? So, Father's Day, is it just one day a year for you? Or is it an ongoing thing that I'm always honoring my dad? Every conversation we have is a honor, a tribute to him, in a sense, right, that we have together. I do my best to display those things, and when we conversate, when we have a conversation when we're together, right, show honor upon my dad all the time. as I do my mother? Do you automatically get honor just because you're a dad? Or is honor earned as a father? Do you feel that way, that your dad needs to earn your honor, needs to earn that from you? Maybe not honor, but respect, dignity. Because your dad didn't do such and such, then you ain't gonna do it. Yeah, I thought the show was over too. This might be a part 2. I'm already in an hour. So, does a father, do you have to feel like your dad is the father figure, or a good dad to be honored on Father's Day, or to be honored at all as a father? Do you even see your dad as a dad? What makes a father, right? I heard somebody say, like, it depends on your perspective, because some people can have some crappy dads, and those who had crappy dads, right, they could be like, you know what, I'm a crappy dad because I had a crappy dad. And then you have those on the other hand that be like, I'm not a crappy dad because I had a crappy dad. 2 people with crappy dads became 2 different dads. It's my dog in the background. Yeah, she was quiet for about an hour. Happy Father's Day to my. Are you a father when you have a dog? Right? No. My dog dads, you better not stand up at church. I know that. All my fathers, please stand up. If you just got a dog, no. You better sit down. You better not even flinch. You know what I mean? Because I'm calling you out. You see a dad stand up, and they got a dog on him. I'm not talking about the father figures. I'm talking about the dog dads. Somebody better correct them. I ain't say put hands on them now, but correct them. Hey, sit down, bruh. You ain't no father. You just got a dog. It's America, right? Woo. Fathers. So, if you ain't doing your thing as a dad, what's doing your thing? I don't know. You're not there. Bottom line. I don't know. Then you have dads who's there who don't do what they're supposed to do. I think that in order to be honored as a father, you have to be seen as a father. So, truly having the title of father, wearing it with the gold, you know what I mean? I'm a dad, I'm a father, and you're doing what you're supposed to do, people around you can see it, right? Even if your kids may not agree at the time, they're not understanding, right? You know that you're doing it. When I say people, you too, deep down inside when you the best of yourself. You know what kind of dad you are. You know what you need to improve at. And I'm not talking about comparing to next door Johnny, comparing yourself to me, right? You know what you're doing for your family. You married, your spouse know. You got people in your life. People know. So honor thyself too, right? As long as you doing what you're supposed to do, you a dad. And you know what you're supposed to do for your kids. It ain't for me to tell you what you need to be doing for your kids. Your spirit gonna tell you, just like my spirit tell me. Right? I'm not spiritual, okay? Keep thinking that. So, all my fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. And no, you're not less of a dad because you're going through a divorce. Right? Because divorce has happened. How do you explain that? The best way you can. Right? The best way you can. I'm not talking about. You know what the best way is, right? Because every child, every circumstance is different. So I really did my best to explain we're getting a divorce. I did my best based upon the circumstances. And you're not a crappy dad. because y'all not together no more. Don't feel like that, right? Because being a dad has nothing to do with being married, right? It's about how you are with your relationship with your kids, your responsibilities with your kids, what you're doing with your kids, right? So, I'm not saying that go ahead and leave your wife now. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not also saying go ahead and stay with your wife, stay with your husband, whoever you with, right? I'm just saying that to my fellows who going through, don't feel like you're a bad person or a bad dad, because you're not. And those of you who resonate with this, you know who I'm talking to. You know what I mean? What you can do is just show them that you're the best of who you are at this moment. Right? I'm just doing my best at this moment. Honestly, this is what a dad look like when they're going through divorce. You know what I mean? I've never been through it, or I've been through it before. And, I'm just doing my best at this moment. That's what they need to see. You doing your best. Your best might be, damn it, 60%. But this is all I got right now. You know what I mean? All right. You might have someone who died. Mama died. Wifey died. Right? And you just, you're grieving. It's the best of who you are right now, and that's okay. So, just being the best of who you are. Be the best of who you are. Happy Father's Day to my dads out there. I love y'all. I really do. You know what I mean? And just be the best of who you are today and every day. Every day is Father's Day, right? Every day. Right? Every time you see your dad, Father's Day. Father's Day don't just mean always gifting. But you know what? I'm going to spend some time with my dad. And I say Father's Day, every day is Father's Day, right? I'm not talking about just dedicating every single day to your dad, no. But it's about the relationship y'all build. You build with your father, right? So, and that's how you build with your kids. Because you can still build with your kids after whatever time frame, right? You can still build with your kids. Consistently build with your kids because they consistently growing as you, so are you. So are you adapting to their growth? Are you adapting to their growth? Dad, happy Father's Day. I know you are. Some of us ain't, to be honest. Alright, Father to 6, I do appreciate it again for sticking in. I know what to do. Hit that like, comment, like and subscribe, comment section. Leaving you always with love, light, life, peace. Father to 6.